Keeping it real with Rudi Lickwood, the topical interactive chat show where you may end up being one of the guests every Monday night, 8:30 p.m. tackling the week's major issues with special guests and you, the audience. Comedy with Rudi Lickwood. This event is brought to you by Comedy Hotspot. Don't forget, keeping it real with Rudi Lickwood. This is an 18 certificate only.
Hello and welcome to the Rudi Lickwood Keeping It Real show. As I said to you guys earlier on, it is adults only tonight. Thank you very much for joining me. I can see that the room is actually starting to fill up pretty rapidly. I'm quite surprised actually. Not only am I surprised, but I'm very pleased. You know, I was running a bit late due to technicals. You know how you get technicals, but then, you know, it's just me one. I'm doing everything. I'm doing what women can do. I'm doing what they call multitasking. Yes, man. My missus said I can't multitask. She told me to sit down, shut up, and get her something to eat. And believe it or not, I couldn't do none of those things. So let me know who's in the room with me. Let me know who's in the room. Just send me a hi. Send me a hi. Those little highs will tell me that I've got a couple of people in the room and that I can actually start the show. I know it's going to take a little while. Some of you, your fingers, you know, got rigor mortis in it. It shouldn't have rigor mortis, not at this time anyway. Not at this time of your life. Do you know what I mean? Because we're still relatively young, aren't we? Even though the government has purchased nearly £90 billion worth of vaccines. I don't know who's planning on taking the vaccine. Anybody actually planning on taking the vaccine? How you doing, Keith? Good to have you, my friend. Good to have you. Good to have you in the room. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. D-Man out of the room as well. Wow. Are you? That's my boy. D-Man, that's my boy, people. I got to tell you, that's my boy. Me and him, we get on with some mayhem. Nice to see you, Craig. Yes. I'm late too. But good evening, Rudi. Thank you very much, Jules. I know I could always trust you. On my side, man. 14 people there. What do you mean, 14? There's more than 14 people in here. Wagwan. Everything is grinding, Dan. Everything is grinding. Yeah, £90 billion the government has spent on vaccines. I don't know about you guys, but as I said this morning, I have no plan on really taking the vaccine. I've got a man. D-Man sent me a thing of a man who was trying to get into a shop without wearing a mask. I got a feeling that's going to be me. Me and security is going to be bucking up all the time. Now, I did promise you that this show is not going to be totally based on celebrities that we know, but it's going to be also based on people who actually watch the show. Yeah, I promised you guys that. You know, because we're all role models in our own way. We don't all necessarily have to be doing big things in order to be what you would class as a role model or somebody of interest, you know. So what I've decided to do is I decided that I would once a week select somebody who I felt contributed to my show enough for me to feel to myself that I would interview them. Yeah. And I was fortunate enough to have somebody do just that. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm hoping actually that I'm going to hit the right button. Is I'm going to do what I normally do, which is of course introduce you to. What's that? You keep flickering. I know, Donna. I know, and that is very little. There's very little that I can do about the flickering, unfortunately. If I could change it, I would. Yeah, but unfortunately, I can't. All right. So bear with the flickering for me. All right. Just bear with me on that one. Right. What I'm actually looking for at the moment is I'm looking for her intro. I did a really nice intro for her, and I hope it hasn't got scrubbed. That wouldn't do. That would really mess me up. Let's see.
Keeping it real with.
That's the wrong one. I've got her intro in here, youngers. Where's her intro? Okay. It looks like I cannot find Denise's intro, unfortunately. But my first guest tonight, like as I said, is somebody who frequents the comedy clubs quite a lot. She's a DJ within her own right. So unfortunately, I cannot do the intro that I wanted to do. I hope she forgives me for this. And let me introduce you to Denise Francis.
Hello.
Hello, Denise.
Hey. What, no intro?
Hello, how you doing?
I'm all right.
How you doing?
I'm all right.
No, you know what? The thing is that I have got an intro for you, right? But for some reason, I think when I had to stop and start the computer, that it's taken your intro out. It's actually taken your intro out, and I just cannot. I'm looking along here, and I just cannot see it. It's just not. I've got quite a few bits and pieces in here for you, and the intro would have said so much, because the first thing the intro actually shows is that you're a big Liverpool fan. How you that?
Yeah.
How you that?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So how long have you been following Liverpool?
Since I was a kid.
Since you was a kid.
Yeah, my brother. My brother.
Huh?
Colin, my friend Colin. Can I say hello to my people? Can I say hi to
Of course you can say hello.
Liz, my sister, Marla, who's locked in, Keely, Colin, the Maccabee crew, Shani, Maxie, Marla, Joe Noel, and I want to say hi to Julie Juice as well, because she always says hello.
You got to say hi to Julie. I call her Chocolate. She's my chocolate.
Okay.
She's my guilty pleasure.
Yeah, Colin Bell says it's not good enough.
Who says it's not good enough?
Colin Bell.
Colin Bell, where's Colin? I can't see no comment here from Colin.
He's in my watch party.
Is he in your watch party? Are you doing a watch party? Oh, thank you. People, if you're in the room, please do a watch party. I would appreciate that. I mean, I need as many people as I can get, because I've only got 3 at the moment, okay? But yeah, you said to me that you're a big Liverpool fan. You've been a fan from how long now? Yeah. So are you glad that we've now got the cup? Are you glad that we've now finally won the Premier?
Of course, we need standard.
Hero is standard. You see, that's what I tell people them all the time. We've been waiting nearly 30 odd years to get our hands on that bloody cup, and it's taken too long. It's really taken too long. So how has lockdown been treating you? How has lockdown been treating you?
Well, I'm on high risk, so I haven't really been out. I've gone in the car a few times and gone in a friend's garden, blah blah. But I've been going stir crazy in here. You've
been going stir crazy.
Aye.
So you're basically just letting lockdown get to you, man.
Yeah.
How can you let lockdown get to you? You know, I don't because I mean
lockdown's been good to me though. Really good. Lockdown's been really good to me. I want to give a shout out.
So I noticed when I went on your page. I noticed that. I noticed you try to drink quite a bit when you're out there, innit? Eh? You're a bit of a drinky linky, aren't you? And to think to me,
not anymore.
Not anymore. Have you slowed down on the drink?
I've slowed down. Hi, Julian.
Yeah. You haven't slowed down that much though, have you? Not really.
I have, for how I used to drink. But now because I'm on medication, so kind of slows it down a bit.
Okay. So then tell me something. How did you come up with this name? DJ Delicious. Where did DJ Delicious come from? Who are you? Like you are. Who said you are? Who said you are?
If I told you, I plead the fifth. Well, Colin Bell has.
Colin. Yeah, yes. But Colin is only one man though, isn't it?
It's true. Plenty of people tell me.
Oh, hearing about his support Jamaican football team, Bolt Liverpool. You know what, D-man? If you was on here, I would have just blank you. I'd have kicked you off my screen about Liverpool. Listen, I need somebody to rebut that Jamaican person there talking about us. He shouldn't be talking about us like that. Don't you think so, Denise?
Agreed.
He's got no right to be talking about us like that.
No right.
Because you say to me that lockdown has got you sort of like crammed in and you don't do much. But you're actually quite quite an outgoing person, aren't you? Really?
Yeah.
It just seems
I
to
don't
be.
like to be indoors.
You don't, not at all.
No.
So, do you wanna tell us a bit about? Because I've watched your memes. I've been looking at your memes and I've been looking at your photos. Yeah. When was this photo taken and what is this about?
That was at Christmas. We were collecting money at Coventry Hospital Radio where I volunteer. Look at my face. I was like, hurry up, enough. Been there for hours. It's time to go home.
So what, you volunteer? So what is it? What is it you do while you're volunteering there?
I actually talk to the patients. I've got a 2-hour show. I give them an hour of old school reggae and then an hour of old school soul. I talk to them, encourage them, and then I go home.
So that's what so you actually work on hospital radio?
I do.
That's what you actually
I've been there 5 years.
You've been there 5 years. So why was you at that particular hospital? Because here's one of your memes, which is what got me. The struggle is real.
Yes.
The struggle is real. What is the struggle? Tell us about the struggle.
The struggle is lupus. I have a condition, for those who don't know, it's called lupus. It's an invisible disease, and your immune system, instead of protecting you, your antibodies, it attacks you, and it can attack different organs. Could be your joints, your kidneys. It's affected my lungs.
And it actually affects your lungs?
Yeah. So also extreme tiredness, and you can get a rash on your face. That's discoid. You know, like Seal's got on his face.
Yeah.
That's discoid.
Because I remember the first time when I saw Seal with them marks on his face, I thought he was from some tribe in Africa, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean?
And you also have to stay out the sun, or wear at least protective, like, cover up.
So you have to cover up yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I don't always.
So when the lupus hits you, what is it? Does it make you just have to go to bed? Does it make you just can't go anywhere with it? Is that?
Well, sometimes it could just like affect my joints. So, you know, like inflammation. I've got a bit of arthritis. So you've got your hands will swell, your feet will swell, your body aches. You can't really be touched. Tiredness.
Oh,
it's a bit like MS. You can't do any. You want to do things, but you can't.
Mm-hmm.
You're not able.
Yeah. You're not able. That ain't true, man. That ain't true. Not when it comes to you, man. If there's one thing I know about you,
I'm a fighter.
You're like.
You're the one that I've been waiting for forever. And
watch it now. I don't go out, you know. I don't do much, you know. No, not me.
Sing out, mommy.
She's got a back. Look at that. She got someone backing her, you know.
If I could, I'd catch a falling star.
Go on, girl, sing it.
So I know where you are.
Oh God, the backing is coming.
To show I love you, I'm thinking of you. Write your name across the sky.
Hit the note, girl. Hit the note.
Anything you ask, I'll try.
Go on. Bet your bye. Who's that? Who the hell is that?
You're the one that I've been waiting for forever. So find me next tune. And
God,
will my love for you. Let me there. Growing strong.
Growing
strong.
Oh my God.
I've got to give a big shout out to Shani because she's listening. She's in London. That's my main girl. And Carol. And that was a serious doing our thing.
No, that was lovely. That was lovely, man. Do you know what I mean? Because I can see that. I can see even though, do you know what I mean? Even though, as you said, because you don't let things get you down. It is what it is. You still do your thing.
Man.
Listen, man, when I decide I'm going to research somebody, I go in.
You find the 50 shades. Did you find the 50 shades?
Mess about. Yes, I don't mess about, man. I go straight in. I try to find the stuff. I do apologize that I couldn't find your intro. Okay, but what I did find in this short space of time that we was talking, I think the only difference is that your day is not a Tuesday. You're not on a Tuesday, are you?
Yeah, I'm no longer there, so we can leave them alone.
We can leave them alone. So, would you like to tell our listeners, because there's quite a few people in the room, do you want to tell them the radio stations and what time they can actually catch you?
Yeah, it's I'm not actually there now because I'm on whatever you call it. It's a Thursday between 1 and 3. You will be putting the link up, I'm sure. www.coventryhospitalradio.org.
And that's where
and I miss singing with you too, Marla.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Brilliant. Love the singing. Look at that. Mark is saying love it. That's one of my school chums, by the way. That's one of my school chums. Mark is a great friend of mine. He's actually a police officer. We should interview him. Police officer, give me producer. Police officer, give me producer.
Hi, Derek.
He's a great friend of mine. Carolyn says, well done for your strength, young lady.
Oh,
so there you go. I've given you your 10 minutes to shine, girl, and I think I think you took it. I think you took it well. Okay. What I'm going to do right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go for a quick break, and I'm going to come back with my feature for tonight. He's a don within his own right. So I'll see you guys in just a couple of moments.
To an extent, organ donation is about getting the best match between a donor and a recipient. The closest matches are found within the same ethnic communities. For example, Caucasian donors are likely to donate to Caucasian recipients because their blood groups and tissue types can be closely matched. The same applies to Black and Asian communities. Unfortunately, there are fewer donors from those communities, which means recipients wait longer for a transplant.
What happens when two DJs, a comedian and a cobbler come together?
Anything goes. We chat about anything.
Anything Goes is a new podcast featuring DJ Countryman, Martin Winter, the Sheep Doctor, and comedian Rudi Lickwood, and the Real Deal's Peter Terry.
Anybody know all this go of America?
Boy, that's a hard one, you know.
Well, it definitely was not Christopher Columbus.
Damn blasted liar.
Turn to be a Caribbean restaurant or an appropriation of an African Caribbean culture.
You never accept going into an authentic Chinese restaurant and a white guy is cooking the food. You're mad.
The food, no have no taste. Ain't got no taste.
I think the cocktails are all right.
Shut up, man. What are you talking about, dickhead?
You know, say high blood pressure, hypertension, and stress kill more people than cancer. No, kill more black people than cancer.
No, I didn't know that. I thought it was the police.
10 p.m. Wednesday nights.
Facebook watch parties are welcome.
Live and book fairs.
Ladies and gentlemen, ask the questions. We come up with the answers.
You can come up with the answers. Me, I take the mic out.
Anything Goes is a podcast for adults, live on Facebook each and every Wednesday, 10 till midnight. No, less than that, 10 till we're done. Sure.
So make sure you tune in. Do you know what I mean? Wednesday nights, 10 o'clock, we've got Anything Goes. It's a podcast. But today, it's not about that. Today is all about me introducing you to my heroes. And my next guest, he doesn't know how long I've been watching him. He really doesn't know. But let's introduce him. Oh my God, not again. Yes. Now, the thing is, I can't be sure right, if you guys are watching me or if my screen is totally frozen. All right. But the screen has frozen. Oh, While you was at Curtis.
Well done, Rudy. That looked good, man.
Was it all right, bro?
Yes, send that to me, man. I'll use that for my eulogy. When I'm dead, let them use that one.
Okay. Let them use it. Listen, bruv, it's taken me since the lockdown, as you know, we've had to find like different skills in order to get through. You know what I mean? To get by. But I wanted to go straight. You know where I wanted to go straight to? I wanted to go straight to the Albany Empire. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because the Albany Empire was the first place I saw you and Ishmael.
Okay. Yes, sir. Fantastic venue.
Yes. And at the time, you were the thing is, you guys were doing sketches. Yeah?
Yeah, character-based. So it was a double act.
You was doing a double act. It was character-based sketches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was the first time that I actually felt there was a connection with the stage. Do you know what I mean? Because the thing is that all of a sudden, it's like people were talking about us. I remember on the night, there was Short, Sharp and Shocking was there.
That's right, yeah.
Mark with an X was there. Yeah. Leo Chester was there. Yeah. But the story that I want to get behind is what happened after that when you and Ishmael booked out somewhere and you invited Humphrey Barkley, was it? Am I
Charlie Hanson. Oh wow, you're going back. You would know this because you're a Harleston man. So there's an actor. We were working on a play at the time. But anyway, Trevor Etienne.
Yes.
You must know, but he comes from you guys' side, Harleston side. Had a venue.
Trevor Etienne was in London Bridge at the time. London's Burning.
London's Burning. But yeah, the TV show. But he was doing a lot of stuff, loads of different strands to his bow, you know. But he, I was telling him we needed a venue to put on a little show for Charlie Hanson and one of the commissioning editors at the BBC. And at that time, me and Ishmael must have been about 21, 22, something like that.
Yeah.
So he got us. The place was called Sullivan's. That mean anything to you?
No.
It was on the Harrow Road, Sullivan's. Yeah, that was the name of it. Little shubby that you went downstairs. And he let us have the place, and then we just did the flyer in and advertised it as a little thing, and we had singers and me and Ishmael performing. And Charlie, to be fair to him, Charlie Hanson came down with a BBC exec, and that's how we kind of got introduced. But that was when you're young and you just you had to write letters and you had to
yes, but the point is, how did you know to actually do that? Because I know that Mr. Tom Wilson, your English teacher, right?
Yeah.
Introduced you.
You drop your name like you know people.
he introduced you to theatre, if I'm correct.
Yeah, my English teacher, Mr. Wilson, Tom Wilson. I was very good at poetry and writing at school and acting. So when I was, what would that have been, Rudy, the last couple of years of school? I would have been 15. I was in a play. I was in a play called The Long, the Short, and the Tall. And I was the lead in that, Banforth. Anyway, I was the lead in that, playing with sixth formers, if you know what I mean. So I was a year younger than the rest of the cast. And it was a discipline, learning your lines. And I just so enjoyed it. And he took a lot of, he took strength from that. And then his wife was an actress working in the National Theatre. And he took me to see a big musical. I cannot remember the name of it, but it blew me away. It blew me away, man. It was a guy coming from Brixton, young boy, and a teacher took me to meet his wife after the show as well. But she'd just been in this really spectacular play at the National Theatre in South Bank. That's right, yeah.
It was so that was at the South Bank.
Yeah,
I thought you said that one. I thought that one of your first gigs was actually at Brixton Town Hall. That's where.
Yeah, but that's when we started. So we used to do poems. All of Brixton, covered the whole area. We did all the big venues in Brixton. We did the Dole Office. We did the Town Hall. We did Santley School with Musical Youth. That was one of our biggest gigs. Santley School is in Brixton, off Acre Lane, and Musical Youth were at their kind of just coming back from their height. So they hit the height and they were on the road, as we all know. The journey is a long one. They were there. They were at the stage where they could perform live in Brixton and draw 1,000 people. and we got to be on the stage with them in Brixton. But after a while, it's like now, when you're young, I was doing a lot of promotions, just running around Brixton, putting up flyers of silhouettes. Who are Curtis and Ishmael? And it was just silhouettes. Sometimes you're young and stupid, you know? But it was exciting.
So you had energy. The point is that you had energy.
Yeah.
It's so energy, man.
I used to put up silhouette flyers. And then somebody said to me, but nobody's going to know your face of that. And I went, oh, yeah. But it was cheaper to get to get that printed than to take picture. And it wasn't as easy as it is now to pick up your phone and take a picture of yourself. You know what I mean? Them days we would have had to go to Boots, get it developed. Yeah, you know developed. It was expensive. It was an expensive project for kids, you know. So that way we just photocopied. So it was all of that. That's the entrepreneurial side of most comedians have to have or had to have back in the day. Even now, innit, with social media, you got to be kind of entrepreneurial and get your groove on.
I think. How are you actually embracing social media? Because I know when me and you was talking, you was like, "Boy, Rudi, just and to the side," and it was like, you know,
I'm struggling with it, but it's a new skill, and you got to learn it. You got to learn it because for me, you know, our job is being on stage and talking, but getting the chance to chat, even this, and talk to people, you have to be able to be up on the social, on the technology of it as well. I didn't even know a phone was so amazing, and the things I've seen people do, it's just work. I didn't appreciate how much effort it is. Like watching you mess up and you're jumping all over the place. You need to upgrade something on your system, bro. And I'm telling you this as a man who's only been doing it for about 11 weeks.
No, that's fine, Curtis, because I know that I've got a long way to go. But
my friend, your friend Gina sent me messages about what to buy and what to get, like all the hub and something that improves your Wi-Fi in your house and all them kind of. And then Eddie, there's people. It's nice.
But you ain't been listening though, Curtis. You ain't been listening.
I really ain't. Because I am listening, but it's time. You've got to have that energy to do it, and I'll get there eventually. But I am going to start taking it more seriously. I understand because the amount of energy that you put in the beginning there, right, was the beginning of a long journey for a lot of us, really. Because I mean, it was shortly after the Albany Empire that the 291 came about. Do you know what I mean? And do you remember the crowds of the 291? Do you know I do.
All right, sister. You have planning permission for that extension there? Head kind of big, you know? Women dark sisters there. On your nose. That's right. All these red-skinned girls, them, they can go ahead.
Yeah, do you remember those? Because I remember having to fight that audience, Curtis. I remember you, man. I'll bring Denise back in. So you remember me? You remember me and what I had to go through.
I remember putting you. I wrote not a chapter, but I wrote about you in my book. In that it's the arc of comedy. Because in the beginning, you know me, and you never really get on, never flex, never got on. But I've never stopped having so much respect for you in that the fact that you stayed in the game, because the way you were treated at the 291 Club, and I think it was on about 3 occasions. Because I'd never heard booing like that before.
Neither had I.
I'd been doing the 291. Me and Ishmael were doing the 291 for a period of weeks, maybe even years.
Yeah, okay.
And I remember watching you get dealt with by the audience because you had that Eddie Murphy look and they weren't buying it, and it's just a new comic.
No, because the thing is, when DJ Elaine introduced me onto the stage, she introduced me onto the stage as an Eddie Murphy lookalike. Yeah.
But
the thing is, I wasn't planning to do that. No, because I wanted
you see that clip you just showed? I'm going to tell you something. You see that clip you just showed? That was my first gig without Ishmael. I was terrified. And DJ Elaine introduced me as Ishmael Thomas.
Yeah, I saw it in your eyes, Curtis. Curtis, I saw it in your eyes. I said I could see fear.
You're not hearing
right?
me, Rudy.
So when that,
it's my first gig, and she introduced Curtis Walker as Ishmael Thomas. That's how she introduced me. She didn't even get my name right. That's the point I'm making.
But that's like Dane getting introduced as Richard Blackwood.
No, it's not,
I mean?
man. I'm telling you, that was my first gig on my own. After being in a double act for so many years, it threw me.
You were terrified.
It threw me.
I saw it.
Terrified.
In your eyes,
and then to be introduced as Ishmael, it was like the worst possible thing. Do you know what I mean? It's the worst possible thing.
I can appreciate that. But the thing about it with you, though, Curtis, is that what you've got over a lot of us is the experience and the confidence in your material. Because you're one of the few comics that I know who actually gets up on stage and for the first 15 minutes, fuck knows what's going to come out of your mouth. Nobody knows what's going to come out of your mouth. Nobody's got any idea what's gonna be coming out of your mouth. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what it is I think it's the respect that you've got for the art. You really respect the art. And there's so many younger comics who could learn, because a lot of them learn on the phone. They don't actually learn how to work a crowd. And I just want to give people at home an opportunity. Oh, my computer's gone and froze on me again. I don't know why it's done.
But you're still moving. I can see you. It's happening. Am
I still
live.
moving? Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to give people an opportunity to see the craftsman.
But we've got to be aware of what's going on in the world. We have to pay attention. We're looking at America mainly now at the minute with the Ferguson situation. You've been checking up on that?
The technology I am working with.
That WhatsApp. You want to do the ice challenge? What are you doing? You're going to do the ice challenge? Ice bucket challenge?
It should adjust itself. I'm not sure if it's my...
That was playing, Rudy. You were talking over it.
Was I talking over it? Let me...
But we've got to be aware of what's going on in the world. We have to pay attention. We're looking at America mainly now at the minute with the Ferguson situation. You've been checking up on that? Cold, isn't it? You started off with that WhatsApp. You want to do the ice challenge? What are you doing? You're going to do the ice challenge. Ice bucket challenge, reality. I will do it right here in front of these people, Give me a bucket of ice. Let me feel it all about this. Fuck up and drunk and everything. I'm doing the ice bucket challenge. I don't know why. Jesus Christ. So when I turn around, don't be on the WhatsApp. What are you doing? Who are you texting? What's happening? Is it relationship trouble and everything alright? Is your mom? You single? Nice, look after your mom. Women looking for real men, they're texting their mom. Don't worry, man. You married? You said, okay. You're single. Bartenders, let's go take the piss. I'm only joking. No, this is right. Alright. Go put the fucking phone again. I see you. Yeah? Thank you very much. That's so appreciated. You're in a classy hotel when you just say shit. No, I want to throw back a champagne on it. And a brandy. Conversing. I'm going to fling it right over you. Worth a try, you never go back.
See, I love that. Because that is, you know when there's jokes in between the jokes, you know what I'm talking about. Where
yeah.
Where it's all happening in between the material. Do you know what I mean? How long did that take you to get to that point of being able to actually do that?
I think what happens is there are comedians who can sit down and write jokes. I've never been that guy. I'll write probably 10 minutes of something, but when you get in a venue and you feel a vibe and you realize these people, I just like the audience to get something new every time, get something different every time, and that keeps the material moving. So sometimes you'll get on stage and improvise it and then go home and write it. If it was strong, turn it into something. And I've always worked that way round, and it's about...
So you work backwards, basically you work backwards.
I don't know yet, but sometimes you're going to miss, but when you hit, oh man, there's not a feeling like it. Because and I know you have a material that stays with you like a like a piece of a comfort blanket. You know, you kind of turn to it when the pressure's on. But it's so hard to then be creative in a space where they're sitting there and they're waiting. And when you give them something so fresh, so brand new, so just happened, how can he talk about that? And it just happened as we came into the venue. And that excites me as a performer. That gets me going. And I enjoyed that, and watching people laugh at something you've just created. It's a beautiful feeling.
It is, because I find that I really enjoy it when people laugh. Don't get me wrong. But I love it when they applaud as well.
Okay, you know, I've never had that, so I don't know.
Yes, you have. You have, Curtis. The thing is that you're...
I've had it when they've thrown stuff, but not too much.
Because the thing is that you've been keeping the comedy real from day one. I mean, I couldn't show the whole of the clip of the 291. I'm sure that those people who actually watched the ad that I sent out 6 minutes of material of yourself where you was talking about Charlie Williams, for example, and the way that Charlie was treated. You understand what I'm saying? And the way in which there's no real respect for him amongst his peer group.
Yeah, but you got to remember, where we are fortunate, I think, is that we're in a time where we've got each other.
Okay.
Love us or hate us, like each other or don't like each other. We're in a time where I can go to a gig now and be brought on stage by a black performer. I can then perform, and then after me would be another black performer. You've got to remember that back in the day, those guys would have been so alone. The bit like how we feel now working in TV. You're so alone. But on the live tip, we can meet up with each other, talk to each other, have a little socialize, and just kind of help heal each other's wounds, because we're all a bit hurting.
Vulnerable and hurting.
Vulnerable with the game that we're in. It's the game we're in, you know? Whereas I remember seeing you at an audition where everybody.
Yeah, I want to tell you about that.
We're all vying for the one little character.
Curtis, the difference is you knew you was going to get that role. You knew you was going to get that role.
The only time I go to auditions is when I know I'm going to get it, man. You got to walk in with that in your head anyway, Rudy.
I remember you sitting there. There you were sitting there with your apple, giving it, and you're sitting there with your pad, giving it. Boy, I don't know, maybe I should have bought my glasses. And I'm thinking to myself, lad, don't tell me this is going to happen to me again. The amount of auditions that I've gone for, and either you've been there and Richard's been there, and I have to sit down and watch on TV as you lot read out the lines that I was auditioned for. Right?
I wish it was that as easy as you're making it sound, bro. If I tell you how many things I've gone for and haven't got, you know.
Yeah.
You get lucky. I get lucky about twice a year. I'll get lucky and something will come in, But other than that, really, the stand-up is the key, man. It's keeping us alive.
Yeah, because tell me, what was you doing gigging on an oil rig? What the hell was you doing, man? What was you thinking?
It was just a bridge too far, man. It was an oil rig too far. I got a booking with my agent at the time, Beverly Randall, got the booking. And it's new and it's exciting because it was new to me. I'd never been on an oil rig. I'd never even thought about it. But the whole thing and the money was fantastic, let's be honest.
Yeah, I hear that.
To go on a space like that and die on your ass or fail to entertain, right, is the loneliest thing I've ever experienced.
Oh, no.
And then I remember saying the weather changed and they couldn't get me back out on the helicopter.
So you had to sit down and eat with them as well. You had to sit down. And they're walking past you. And they're walking past you going, he was shit. He was shit. He was
still here. You're still here, You're still here, I'm like,
you're funny. Hey, Mr. Funny Man, come over here.
But the reality was, I'm looking at the team. They could throw me off the oil rig if they want. They could have just got rid of me, and who would have asked any questions? You know what I mean? Nah, very lonely place to be, man.
No, I mean, I know that walk of shame, man. I know that walk of shame. I've been lucky that I've never actually died abroad. Do you know what I mean? When doing the show, but I have witnessed fellow comedians. I actually witnessed one guy who was actually on a cruise ship. Yeah, and he did so badly, that they sent a helicopter to take him off.
To take him off. Because when you die and you're trapped on this ship, it kills the
nowhere to go.
Because even the other comics can't enjoy themselves. You know what I mean?
No.
Because especially if you're going well and you're with somebody who's going badly, consistently going badly.
But that used to be me back in the day, innit? That used to be me back in the day. I was the guy who would turn up and everyone would be wondering how long. I remember I remember when Leo used to be like, I gave him 2 minutes this time. I gave him 2 minutes. Right? That's like when we was at the Tabernacle and places like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I was consistently booed, but the thing is, I was very determined to.
Rudy, that's why I started off with. I cannot fault you on persistence, boy. Can't fault you on persistence.
Well,
you refuse to go away, and that's strength. That's your character. That's shows some character, you know.
Mm-hmm. But this is the role, that I was supposed to get.
What? I ain't giving you a tip.
No. Who's your friend?
Hi, I'm Marissa. If you're ever in need of a professional photographer, my contact details are there.
For your mother-in-law.
Yeah, along with my events company and my new fashion label.
We know who the breadwinner will be in the future. Oh, was that Youngers?
Oh, what's happened to Rudi?
Am I still not there? Am I with you?
Yeah,
we can hear you now.
You can hear me. Can you see me as well?
Yes.
Because at the same time, I've got to be careful. Right, let me ask Denise, can you see me, Denise? Because he's a comedian. He'll mess about.
I can see you. I can see you.
You can see me and you can hear me as well.
If you're free, I'll interview Curtis. How's that?
Okay, that's good. That's good. Because Denise has got a story that she actually wants to tell you.
Well, he knows the story, but the listeners.
Tell me.
Well, please tell him. Please tell him the story.
When you were at the Birmingham Drum, and I wasn't feeling I wasn't feeling very well. I was advised kind of not to go out, but you were there, so I was like, I've got to go. Curtis is there, so I went to the show, and I laughed so hard. By the time I got back to Coventry, my lung collapsed. Literally.
Yeah.
Coming back from your show. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Curtis.
I don't know how you take that. I don't know how to take that.
The thing is, Curtis,
I'm sorry.
It's good.
No, because the thing is that it's unbelievable that you think of the joy that we bring to people and we don't even know.
You were that funny.
We don't even know, Curtis. I mean, I have stopped 1 or 2 hearts in my time and literally they had to be resuscitated. And I felt, you know what I mean, that somebody, you know, when you say I died when I was on stage, somebody actually could have died when I was on stage from laughing.
Right.
Which is a bit, on another level, it's kind of like a beautiful way to go. But it's just that we just don't really, because what we do is intangible. You can't measure humor, if you follow what I mean. I mean, how do you measure it? How do you even value it?
I measure it, are they laughing? Is how I measure it.
Yeah, but are they laughing? Then
you're doing a good job.
I hear, but it's what you've taken them out of for that week. Because our comedy
that is our job, isn't it? I mean, when people are always so appreciative when people spend their money and come and sit down, and even when you're doing the job, it's about them. It is, for me anyway, it is about the audience. As much as I want to be good, I want to entertain them and I want them to kind of connect. That's it. Once you connect with an audience and get it, man, wherever you are in the world, you've done your job, you know?
Yeah. But the thing is that you've met so many people and a lot of us don't even know.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of us don't even know the kind of people that you've come across and that you've met. I mean, you met Nelson Mandela, didn't you?
I met Nelson Mandela. This is but the beauty of this is that comedy has enabled me. Because remember, me and Ishmael grew up in Brixton, and there was an atmosphere and a vibe. As a young child, you could have gone different ways in your life, you know. And I was so fortunate, or we were, that because of our dream of entertaining, a dream of the poetry and words, and our kind of enjoyment of the vocabulary, the English language, you know. I've let it go recently, but we were so excited by words, and it enabled us to do that. I remember the first meeting Nelson Mandela. You would never have thought that would ever happen in your life, in our lifetime. But I think it was about 2 weeks after he was released, he made a trip to England, and Lenny Henry and Jules Holland organised a gig for him in Birmingham at the Symphony Hall. And on the bill, I got lucky enough to be chosen to do a performance for him. And then
I believe I was up for the spot at the time.
Rudy, let it go, bro. Let it go.
Me not let it go. Because you also met David Beckham.
I don't know if you've ever worked there, but that Symphony Hall in Birmingham is a fantastic venue, really is. Anyway, and
I've been outside.
You had to meet him. You had to meet Nelson Mandela, like the Queen does that kind of line at the end of the show, and you come down the line and you get to meet him, and just what I mean. It blows your way.
No, don't know what you mean. This is the thing.
Yeah, but you imagine
know.
meeting somebody that you've admired and you've been outside Trafalgar Square chanting and working with the ACLT and working and trying to get that man out of jail, and you'll get a chance to meet him, Rudy. Free Nelson Mandela. I was doing all of that and all the connection we had with South Africa regarding apartheid, hearing Margaret Thatcher call him a terrorist. All of that language was happening around with the GLC, and there was activists acting out, and we were doing things. Then you later on get a chance to meet that man. Can you imagine? Well, you can imagine how powerful that would be, right?
Yeah, because I was in Brixton Rex when he came down.
All right. Yes.
I was on stage when he walked through. And I put that on my resume. I don't give a shit. That's going on my resume. I like Nelson Mandela walked through while I was performing. I'm like, yeah.
But you've got to remember, England really had the kind of anti-apartheid movement was strong here. And a lot of gigs I was doing around with the GLC and that were about anti-apartheid. And that was our little battle. That was our fight. We knew racism was here. We knew it was here. And then when you have your leader telling people he's a terrorist, why would I? That's Margaret Thatcher at the time. Man, things were hot back then. And it was we didn't have the social media, but we had a sense of community, and people would gather outside the South Africa House and do things and be there and fight fights. And then I got a chance to meet the man. So that was awesome for me. It's one of my kind of tick lists, done.
Okay.
And then I met, obviously Maya Angelou, and I even did, the year I did the year I did the Olympics, I got to meet Michelle Obama.
But you also met David Beckham there as well, did you not?
Yeah, David Beckham. We played chess. Not very good. But
you played chess with David Beckham. You played. Hold on, stop. Hold on, stick up in. Curtis, you played chess with David Beckham.
Played chess in the back of the Olympic Stadium with David Beckham while we're all waiting, because we had 3 days of rehearsal for that. What people, your viewers won't know is that we did a rehearsal. So for 3 days, you had to go and rehearse. My job was to step on the stage and tell people how to use the pixelators.
Okay.
Because 64,000 people had to hold up their screens, which was the screen to make a whole image. So when you grab it, you're part of a whole image as you hold it up, and things like that, and how to move the stuff across. So the audience had to be kind of educated in how to use the stuff. Audience, you know what I mean? You don't call them an audience at a stadium, and the fans.
You call them a fan, you found them a crowd.
The crowd. The crowd. The crowd. The crowd.
Did you throw in little bits of humour while you was there?
I did 3 what we would call gags, and one.
How did that go? How did it go?
Oh, Rudy,
the timing's got to be different. The timing can't be the same.
Absolutely, but that was the beauty of the rehearsal. So you start it, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait.
Welcome to. It was that kind of power. And then in the big one, Rudy. This is the one now. So in your ear, there's a countdown, because this is on the actual event, the day, right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to some friends of mine. They have traveled from around the world, and they are here today. And in my ears, there's a count going like 10, 9, 8. Ladies and gentlemen, put your heads to the sky and welcome the Red Arrows. Whoa! And as you do that, boom, them boys come, whoosh, boom, coming across the sky. And no matter how long I live, that would be the introduction of my life. So they count you down, Rudy, and you say, heads to the sky. Pow! About 6 jet crowd come fly over my head. I tried to book them for one of your dances, but they were busy.
They never turn up. Denise, mind you collapse along, they're saying. Yeah.
That's how you run dance. Imagine having a dance and tell people, come outside, now some friends.
In it.
Boom! Cut across the sky, boy. No, that was nice. That was a powerful feeling.
Yeah, because there was another interview that you had.
Now, you have met.
I have met.
And shaken hands with.
Yes.
Nelson Mandela.
Oh, yeah. One of the proudest days of my life.
Yes. Now, the fact that this happened in Madame Two Swords is irrelevant to
Don't
anything.
hate, bruv. That's our Westwood.
Yeah, that was you on Westwood. And it was during that interview that he mentioned Mary J. Blige. What happened with Mary J. Blige when you were, I think you was a host of her very first performance in the UK?
That's right.
I know you got to go back in your mind, haven't you?
You remember the album, What's the 411?
Yeah. Can you tell us about that incident there?
That was, well, the incident was that Mary just wasn't ready yet. That's what the incident was. Mary was a massive hit with the album sales. But as we were talking about earlier, with comedy and doing it on the social media tip, nothing beats getting in front of an audience and performing for an audience. You can't learn that unless you're doing it. And unfortunately, Mary was very much a studio-based artist at the time. So she came to perform, and I think she was doing 4 gigs at the Hammersmith Apollo, and she had no stage presence yet. So she'd come out and do her songs, but the crowd just were not feeling her at all. I was the compere, so I was booked to do I think 20 minutes at the top. Then they had an artist on. I can't remember who it was. But anyway, and then you did I think you did 35 minutes to bring on Mary J. And that was my hit. So you looked at it as about that was like
you killed it though, innit? You snorted
come on. You know, music. Anytime I'm around musicians, it raises the game for me because I have so much respect for musicians. So that gives you more to play with, and I had a good suit on. It was nice. It was real nice. Right. And she didn't make the grade. Then I was called into an office by her management team, and the implication was made that I had been telling people to boo her, which is a ridiculous thing to be asked or told. Right. And she just had a bad day at the office. So they brought in KC. Yeah. Remember she was dating KC. So they flew KC over, and he basically came and saved the last 2 gigs. And then she went off to Birmingham. I didn't get the call to go to the Birmingham leg of it.
You're not going to get the call, though. If you do better than the artist, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I've never ever called with...
She just didn't have the stage.
No, it's true, Curtis, man. Come on, man.
She was young and she hadn't learned, man.
Nah. This is what I've learned. I've learned that if you are really good at what you do I'm talking about the main circuit. I'm not talking about just the black circuit. Yeah. I found that the likes of the Joe Brands, the Julian Clarys, the Eddie Izzards, and all them boys, because I was around with them, all of them. Yeah. They are not going to introduce you on to open up their show. I mean, I remember when Terry Alderton, I can't remember who he was with. I'm trying to remember who the actor was. But Terry Alderton, he tore a gig apart, and he was meant to be the warming act. Next day, they pulled him. They'll never allow the support to do well.
Well,
you know what I mean?
To be fair, Rudy, it takes a great comic to do that. I think all comedians, no matter where you are in the game, you're not going to bring on somebody to warm up the crowd for you who's stronger than you, funnier than you.
I've asked Steve K. Amos several times. I've asked
It's your show, bro. Talk it to.
Them boys, no, but I'm not gonna lie. Them boys know what's gonna happen. If sorry, Denise, didn't mean to do that, darling. Yeah, but I said to you, I told you you'd have a good night. Do you know what I mean? So people don't think that Denise is just sitting there. She's actually sitting there with one of her idols there. Do you know what I mean? So you sat down with Wogan. You spoke to Wogan. Yeah, you sat down. You actually spoke with Terry Wogan. Do you know what I mean? You had the Paramount City. Which was what
that was our first TV. Wogan was our first TV
thing.
So we did a sketch on there. We didn't sit down and be interviewed. Don't get it twisted. We did a sketch on the Wogan show.
No, I know.
Oh.
Yeah, because the thing is that I, believe it or not, I had downloaded it, but I don't want to take the chance of downloading it now. To show
Where
them
are you getting all that from, Rudy?
And plus, listen, man, when I told you I was going to dig into you, bruv. I told you I was going to dig into you. And then
WhatsApp that to me, man.
I will send that to you, bruv. And then you've got Bullet Boy. Tell us about that.
Bullet Boy was oh god, yeah, that was a film. And I went up against Eddie Nestor on that one, Ruth. He was the one I had to walk past. Yeah, I had to walk past Eddie. So that was a film with Ashley Waters. Oh, beautiful film.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that because I thought it was directed really well and subtly.
Okay.
I like directors that kind of don't go too hands-on. Because Youngers, the director on that was fantastic because he was just filming the action. You know, they guide you a little bit which way they're going to go with it, but then they leave it to you to play the scene out. And I love that. And that's what happened on Bullet Boy. It was a very slow moving. It
was slow, and you were very
slow.
It's like I didn't recognize you, to be honest with you, because you know I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting. I'm going. He's gonna fucking do a funny in a minute. He's gonna do a funny in a minute, and it never came. Do you know what I mean? It was like you just stayed into character.
It's called acting, Rudy. Now I see why your auditions go the way they do. You have to kind of play the character, Rudy. If you're playing a priest or preacher, you can't jump into stand-up, can you?
I do, you know. I keep breaking the fourth wall.
I can imagine.
Because you know when you see the cameraman them there and you want to make them smile.
Yeah, you want to entertain.
Just something. Get some kind of.
Oh, don't get
me
me wrong. I've done it myself,
man.
I've done it myself. Even the last thing I just did something on Sky called In the Long Run. In the Long Run for Idris Elba's company. I did a scene where I had locks and I had dreads. And I was there doing that, Rudy, because it was a comedy, innit? So I'm there and I'm saying, no, this line could be this. Who tell me if he said that? I'm looking at the line and said, no, how about if he says this? And you ice could have come on the floor right there. The way people looked at me like, don't mess with the script, bro. Don't mess with the script.
Don't mess with the script.
Don't mess with the script.
Don't mess with the script. I know.
But as comedians, we think.
Yep. All you're meant to do.
As in a comedy sketch show,
this ain't funny.
We can make that funnier. I can make that funnier. Do you know what I mean?
No, but we can though.
No, but we're only there in the moment. We've forgotten they've been working on that for the last 6 months. So where they've reached by the time you get the script, they've honed it to the best of their ability. And when we turn up on the day, it's a very brave director that's going to let you freestyle. And this is why I say about Youngers. That energy that the director was willing to let you do the scene maybe 3 or 4 times, and then he was kind of encouraging you. Oh, I tried this. Try something new. Then do it. Do what you want. And it just those moments are so. Oh man, they're enriching, innit? You feel like okay, at last somebody's appreciating me.
So what did it give you that? Did it give you that feeling? Did it give you that feeling of working on the real McCoy, like when you first started with Llewellyn and Gideon and Collett Johnson and
the real McCoy was very. Remember, we were young, so we hadn't cut our teeth yet in regards of that confidence to improvise. So the real McCoy, we were learning that skill of writing. So we were very proud when the scripts got accepted, because the room would read every script.
Yeah,
that was the hardest bit of real McCoy. The room would read every script, and your script would be on the table. And it was a very honest room. You can imagine you've got 6 black people sitting down and all being quite funny. Your script better hit the mark, or it's going to end up on the floor. It just isn't going to get in. Yeah, because that's the way it was. It had to be that kind of cutthroat, and I think that's what made it so good. You know, and as comedians, as much as we got older now, it's a very combative space. You know,
it's very competitive.
Yeah, it is. So
I mean, if we
you
didn't
can
have an
imagine
ego, I
how
don't
hard
think
it
we'd
would
laugh.
be to get your script into the scene, into the show. It was very
Because
competitive.
there's actually talk of the 291 coming back now, isn't there?
The 291?
Not the 29. I mean,
Real
Real
McCoy. Well, I got a text today saying that it's out on the 29th of July on iPlayer, BBC iPlayer.
So everybody's heard that it should be out on the 29th of July. And what's going to happen with No
July.
Joke?
I don't know how true that is, but I've been interviewed by the BBC only a couple of days ago.
It's true.
So they're trying to do like an introduction to it. So they've interviewed myself, Eddie, Robbie, Leo, Luella, I believe Luella, and a few people, I think Richard, and fans of the show. So I think they're going to do that kind of trailer to it and then launch it. And isn't it funny that they found the tapes after I personally had a friend who wanted to buy the rights to it, and he was told that they deleted it. And that's maybe 15 years
I
ago.
tried to buy the rights myself. because I was going to hold it to a ransom if they wanted it back on. I was going to say, you have to get some money now.
It's like
they told you it was deleted, or
they actually told me it was deleted. I actually was told it got caught up in a fire. There was some fire or something.
I just think that's amazing that suddenly they found it.
Yeah,
it's like Bobby Ewing in Dallas when he's in the shower. He was dead, and then he came back to life. Bobby Ewing. That's exactly how the tapes just turn up.
But it's amazing.
You were so good just sitting there listening.
My bad.
But it might sound a bit harsh to say, but I think if it wasn't for the likes of George Lloyd going through what he went through, you know, little things like the Real McCoy coming back would never have happened.
Yeah, but look what it's taken.
I don't think they would have taken it all on board, you know.
George Floyd has to die before. Well, maybe it's about us as well. It's about black people as well, man. We've been feeling it for a long time, and there's only a few people talking about it on a regular. You know what I mean? And God bless them, and thanks to them. But there's many people I know who was always kind of dismissed. Oh, you're too militant. Oh, you're too strong. Oh, you're too black. You're too this. And as much as it's them I kind of want to applaud, because a lot of people are jumping on it like we were all pro-black. We were all pro-black.
We weren't, though. We were just...
Yeah, we was all trying to survive. And there's brothers and sisters who've been on that tip from day one. And they're the ones that I think should be saluted so much. You know what I mean? Because it's a journey that we should have all been on. And even when this is over, I hope that we continue to kind of work as hard as we've been working, communicate with each other as much as we've been communicating, and keep some kind of momentum, because it does affect change when we work together like we're doing at the moment. It is affecting change. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I like it. Yeah, I mean, that's what I like. That's what I like. That's why when we did Blouse and Skirts, you know what I mean? I thought that was a real, for me, that was when my voice anyway, I could hear my own voice now. I could, you know what I mean? Because we were talking current affairs. Do you remember? Yeah. We was talking current affairs.
In a serious note, with me and you now, I always thought that you didn't know who you wanted to be on stage for the longest time. Because I know we've had issues about material and all of those things going on. But I just always thought you didn't know who you wanted to be. And I was very lucky that after me and Ishmael split, I was in a kind of weird place. But because I was so depressed and down, it enabled me to kind of be me, if you know what I mean. Because I was just like, well, to hell with it now. And that's the way I kind of evolved into a stand-up comedian. When I say that, I mean working on my own. Coming out of a double act and then working on your own is very scary. And finding out who you are, like you're saying about the Blouse and Skirt, it was that kind of show where, but again, it was a group of comedians sitting on chairs talking about current events and topical stuff. And that, I think, should be something that is so on the TV calendar every year, you know what I mean? It should just be a regular. Like, Have I Got News For You, or Not the 9 o'clock News, or whatever the current show is, where you get a chance to just voice and talk, and it's consistent. It doesn't even seem to end, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I figured that that's what was really missing, was the chance to as Marcus Simmons has just now said here, was to collaborate, really, and to
collaborate,
and to allow our voices to come through, because at one point everybody was scared to be black.
Yeah, and then if you look at it, because I love a lot of the female comedians, and I've watched their journey, because the men I know, but if you look at the female comedians, female black comics, the level of competition there is so raised, because every one of them knows only one black female is going to make it at a time. And the time might be 3 years, in my estimation. It's 3 years you get a go. And if you miss that window, so and so talented, the Ginas and the Jocelyn G, you know what I'm saying? These women these women who are so talented, but you go, where is their outlet? Where's the outlet for them? You know what I mean? And you'd love to live in a society where it wasn't black and white, but it is, unfortunately.
But it is, yeah.
Because you'll never see, even when we worked on the jongleur circuit, you'd never see two, or very rarely would you see two black comics on the same bill. You know what I mean? And that's something that's planned. Oh, we don't want another black one because and the criticism is, they talk about the same stuff. And you can work with 17 white comics, and they're all talking about masturbating. They're all talking about, and they have a language that is their language, that is the same jokes.
Yeah.
Delivered differently, but the same jokes, and that is us as well.
Yeah. The
but nobody critiques it.
It's very much the same.
It's same, man, but we get judged a lot harder.
I must admit, they wouldn't put two Northerners on. They wouldn't put two fat lads on. They wouldn't put two women on. It was
two fat lads on.
Yeah,
but I'm saying
it was very much like that.
What I was saying, I know you don't want to see it as black and white, but there again, I'm talking about black and white. I'm not talking about fat. I'm not talking about Northern. I'm not moving it on. I'm staying where I'm staying. I'm talking about.
I understand that. I understand how you operate.
I want to work in a world where 3 black comics can be on the stage entertaining whoever's in the building.
Yeah, got to Hackney Empire then. You forgot.
No, even Hackney. When I say that, whoever's in the building, because you know and I know, you travel up north and you tear up a gig. You travel down south, you tear up a gig. Yet when you get into a position with a producer, they say to you, "Oh, I don't know how this would play in Middle England." That's the way they're shutting you down. How would this play in Middle England? And you, in your head, are saying,
we've got the answer to that already. We've done
Middle England.
Yeah, I've just
torn up Middle England. I know what Middle England can handle and can't handle. But the decision makers are going to shut you down with foolishness like that. That's all I'm saying, Rudy.
No. I think you've said it. You said more than enough, Curtis. And unfortunately, we're running out of. I ain't got to go, but the thing is that
I have. Really, you haven't. You can stay all night.
That is, hold on. Before we go, because I know that your material is heavily influenced by your dad. Yeah. Heavily. I mean, from day one. And there was one incident in Brighton where you took your father. I don't know if you remember the story. There was a story about you taking your dad, and he met Gordon Ramsay.
Wow. Yeah.
Why
you want me to say that? I said, don't try and upset me. Don't try and upset me, man.
Who's upsetting you? Yeah. And then it was a story that you actually told, and I thought that you
about
might
my dad tasting his food? About my dad sampling his food?
That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Why I say that? Because my dad went missing. That's when I realized my dad the mind was going a bit in Brighton. That same day is when he went missing on me. I thought that's what you was talking about. But anyway, yes.
I didn't know about
that.
I
had a gig to do hosting of this cookery thing. It's a live gig, so it was like Ideal Home exhibition. You can imagine, and the chefs do their cooking, but there's a voice or somebody there moving it along for the audience. All right. So they say, come down to Brighton, this restaurant that Ramsay was helping to open, the Cherry Tree. A black Southern woman, had a restaurant called the Cherry Tree. Anyway, my dad goes there. I take my dad with me because he's over from Jamaica visiting. I said, come down to Brighton. It was a nice day. We go to the restaurant, we sit down, and they've made what they think is West Indian food. So it's like little pieces of yam in a square little pieces of this and rolled up piece of that. And I mean, there's loads of it. And they say, would you like to taste it? And I said, no, for my father, because I know he's not an easygoing man. He's not going to be polite for the sake of being polite. That was never his way. So I said, Dad, do you want to try it? He says, and he put it in his mouth, and then he spat into it. He said, oh, what the hell is this? And that's when I realized I had to take him down the road and put him in a pub till it done. I said, Dad, I'll come back for you, man. You cannot stand up in front of me. Oh, what the hell is this? And they're trying to explain to him what it is. And he couldn't, because my dad was a great cook. He loved to cook. He loved food. So I think that's what you were referring to.
Yeah, that's the story. I didn't know anything else.
Yeah, but then when I went back for my dad now, he wasn't where I left him. That's the one that I thought.
Now, this I didn't know.
Yes, and then he wasn't where I left him, and I'm in panic mode now, because, you know, and then eventually, after about an hour of driving around looking for this man, I find him wandering. And I blow the horn, I said, Dad, and he just stopped and froze. I found somewhere to park, I run back to him, I said, where you going? What are you doing? Huh? And I could see the panic on his face.
Okay.
For the first time in my life, I saw that my dad was actually scared. And he fronted it like, no, maybe don't take a walk, you know. But he wandered off and lost his bearings. I think he just lost his bearings. And I said, so what happened if I can find you? Me not just go get the train. You know. But it scared the hell out of me. I was so terrified. Never let him out of my sight again till he passed, you know.
Well, thanks for sharing that with us, Curtis. Because like I said,
good to see you, Rudy. But, and Denise.
Before you go, you can't go just yet. Before you go, I'd like you to tell us just a little bit about that, because I know.
Yeah, so I've got a book out. I've been criticised lately because it's sold out. Well, Denise knows we had a hard sell last year. When it first came out, we went mad selling the book. And then because of the way I am, and I do apologise, I'm going to organise myself and I'm going to do better. I have a friend helping me build a website as we speak. It's just that is taking longer than anticipated. But I'm going to get on it. Anybody interested in the book, stay tuned to my Instagram and my Facebook, and all that information will be there. But Denise, you got your copy, right?
No, I tried to get it on Amazon and it's not there.
Denise, just style it up, babe. You're supposed to say
yeah. Yeah. I've got 3.
Okay.
And you sign them for me individually.
So good to see you guys, man. Stay safe.
Okay. Well, would you just like to say goodbye, Curtis? And Denise,
thank you very much, listeners. Stay tuned to Rudi Lickwood every Monday, and then he's got his thing on a Wednesday as well.
Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah. And Friday, Rudy?
And Friday, and I do a Saturday morning as well.
Saturday morning. Sorry about that one.
You're good. So go in, bro. Good luck with it all.
Can I just say hi to my people?
Man. Of course you can.
Say hi to your people.
Norman, Mandy Donnelly, Esther Mack, Verona, and Hannah.
Okay.
Who can forget Jean or Sheen?
Okay.
What was that last name?
Thank you, guys.
Shaney.
Oh, Shaney. I forgot Shaney.
He was the one singing with me, if you saw the clip.
Yeah, I know. I love her album. The first album wasn't as good as the second. But anyway, yes, Rudy.
Okay, well, thank you very much for coming along. Really appreciated you coming and opening up. There had been one more question for you. Where is Curtis going to be carnival time come August Bank Holiday Monday? Are you going to be performing?
I will be with Mastermind, the legendary Mastermind. We're doing a live virtual carnival. It's going to be fantastic. So Mastermind, if you're listening, if you're tuning in, check out the Mastermind page. Virtual comedy on the 31st of August. Live. Zooming from all over the world.
Zoom. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Curtis. And thank you very much, Denise. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've really enjoyed tonight. It was great speaking with Curtis, and it was great, of course, talking to Denise. Woo! It's been quite a week. It's been quite a week with all those technicals going on. But I'm sure that I'm hoping that you guys have enjoyed the show. Tune in next week, where I will have Nevada Cater will be my guest. And I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy him. Look out for little promos that I'll be pushing out this week to find out who he was. If you remember Arima, I'm in love with you, darling. Is that wrong? That's the guy who sings that. right? So look out for him, but more importantly, guys, look after yourselves, right? Thank you very much for tuning in. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. But I gotta go.